Hey guys, it's me, the Swag Professor, here to teach you more about bulk points. This is bulk points 102, and if you haven't seen bulk points 101, I suggest you watch it, because I'm going to be talking about bulk points a little bit like you already know them. Link in the description. Bulk points 101 will get you up to speed on the basics. I did cover this on my stream last Thursday, but I was so exhausted and it was so unarticulate that I decided to just redo it video format. So this video is gonna give you an additional kind of consideration thing to think about with bulk points using executor example, using single bar charge moves in bulk points, right? And then I'm gonna get into the bulk point chain, or rather how being mindful of bulk points can help you maximize your DPS when you're selecting your teammates for your battle party. So looking at this graph here, the upper part is mostly highlighting Raikou progression against Hydro Pump Kyogre, how the defense breakpoint, if you do one more power up you get that bulk point, and then this is the attack breakpoint, but one more power up gets that bulk point, and then the level 39 is basically identical to level 40, so bulk point basics. And I also included the executor attack breakpoints and bulk points in the bulk point 101 video, but one thing I didn't go over was the use of solar beam. Until you reach the level 35.5 bulk point, you're going to trend towards using one solar beam, which this is a level 40 executors, DPS, and TDO, having only used one solar beam and then fainting somewhere after that. Usually, on your road to doing the second one. And then here you've got when you get two solar beams off. So what I was finding was when you got the bulk point for executor at 35.5 or higher, which is basically identical to a level 40 executor, it's more often getting the two solar beams off, which is huge. Apparently, I mean, look at that disparity right there. That's like, that's like better than level 40 Raikou tier right there. But if you only get the one off, then you're like, you're like worse than Victory Bell. So, and it's not that if you're behind the level 35.5 bulk point that you're gonna for sure do one solar beam. It's just that you're more often in this specific fight gonna do one solar beam, where in this fight you're gonna more often do the two solar beam. So what's going on here? Well, if you look at the Bulkpoint Calculator here on Game Press, right? I already got executor stuff entered in. At the 31.5 bulk point, you are surviving 4 waterfalls and 1 hydro pump with 1 HP left. When you go up to the level 35.5 one though, you're able to tank 5 and 1 hydro pump. So what's likely going on here is when you take the hydro pump, you get that energy gain from the damage. But before you're able to charge up and use that second solar beam, you're fainting from the waterfall damage. By doing the level 35.5 bulk point, you're able to tank that 1 extra waterfall, which puts you in a much better position to actually fire off and have the second solar beam land. Now, the main thing I want to focus on with this video, though, is the Bulkpoint Chain. And just because I like using MS Paint, we're going to use MS Paint. Alright, so here we are with MS Paint. And this example is going to be against Kyogre again. Let's get a cool graphic of Kyogre here. Yeah, we got this guy. Put him on the paint, like 40% that. Consider yourself nerfed. So you're up against a raid Kyogre. For example's sake, let's say this is Blizzard Kyogre. Oh man. So what are you going to fight this guy with? You're going to use your Raikou, right? So we got to have that Pogo asset so people know what game I'm talking about. So, you're fighting Kyogre with your Raikou. And let's say the next Pokemon you have in your lineup is a Zapdos. Oh god. So this is your party, right? This is your first Mon, this is your second Mon. So, you're fighting this Kyogre, and it's going to be doing its attacks on you. So it's going to hit you with that waterfall. And you've got the Raikou at the level 31.5 bulk point, so you can survive 4 waterfalls and a blizzard with at least 1 HP left. So it does, waterfall number 1, blur. Waterfall number 2, blur. Waterfall number 3, blur. But then, all of a sudden, blizzard, but your Raikou, it's got that bulk point, so it can tank 2 more waterfalls. So it's doing, it's going like waterfall blur and waterfall blur, and then your Raikou, he's dead. Yeah, he's gonzo. Now, as I covered in Bulkpoints 101, the average amount of fast moves a raid boss will do before a single bar charge move is about 3 to 4, right? So Raiko just fainted on waterfall number 2 of Kyogre's on average 3 to 4. So Zapdos pops in, right? And Zapdos, oh man, you're ready to swag with it. Kyogre, it hits it with that one waterfall, and you're like, yeah, alright, you're about to use your Thunderbolt. You're ready to rock and roll, and then, oh no, oh, ooh, an idiot. Oh god, oh no, no. Looks like you don't know about the Bulkpoint Chain. You know, if you realized that your Raiko is poised to faint on a fast move, then the Pokemon following it, you know, might want to be a bit bulkier, but it wasn't. So how do you avoid this situation? Well, oh gosh, let's see how far I can backspace. Can I backspace? You just switched them around. Oh, whoop, bump. Bump, oh. Yeah, now you got this situation going on. And Kyogre, you know, he's going to go like, you know, 1, 2, you know, 3. So you get all 4. And then it uses the Blizzard. Well, in that time, Zapdos was able to get several Thunderbolts off, and that's awesome. And it faints, and now, you know, Raiko's in, and it gets a nice clean slate to work off of. You know, 1 waterfall, 2 waterfall, 3 waterfall. Let's say it stops on 3, uses Blizzard, maybe it uses 4. Doesn't matter. Raiko can survive that with at least 1 HP left over, and then it hits it with its, you know, its attack, and then Raiko faints. Now, another application of this, let's scroll back, just so it's not too messy, is let's say you got another Raiko waiting in the wings. So I'm going to copy that. Boom. Yeah, you got Raiko number 2 here. So Zapdos fainted, and you got Raiko number 2. And let's say this one's also at the 31.5 bulk point. So both of these Raikos can tank 4 waterfalls and a Blizzard and survive with 1 HP. So you got this Raiko here, it's the clean slate, and it's got 1, 2, oh man, 3, what, and then, oh, Blizzard, oh, but he survives. He can take 2 more waterfalls. So 1, 2, right? Now this Raiko pops on in, it sends out 1 waterfall, and let's say it sends out another one, and, oh, Blizzard happens. Doesn't matter, because this Raiko can tank it and survive it anyways. So yeah, and then it happened that much sooner, so now it can fully utilize that energy much more efficiently. Although from my experience, a Blizzard just auto-fills one for you basically. But yeah, no, so either way you cut it, these Raikos are going to faint after 5 waterfalls and a Blizzard, essentially. So it ain't no thing to them to get hit by an early Blizzard or a late Blizzard or anything like that, because it's all the same to them. But when you got a glassier Pokemon, such as Zapdos, they don't want an earlier Blizzard. They want to have the maximum amount of time without Blizzard ruining their life. Now, another thing that you can consider with this kind of Bulkpoint Chain is, yeah, I'm getting rid of you, man, is using a tankier Pokemon. Now, controversial pick, maybe you guys don't like it. Kyogre with Thunder makes a pretty good self-counter to Kyogre, right? Especially the Blizzard set. So you got this tankier Pokemon, and Kyogre can honestly tank like a whole bunch of hits, and like I think like it faints on a 3rd Blizzard, or maybe a 4th one. I don't remember it offhand, but this tankier guy has Thunder, and you know all those waterfall hits that Kyogre is doing to the raid boss Kyogre, not that strong. If your personal Kyogre with the Thunder comes in, and it gets hit by an earlier Blizzard, an earlier single bar charge move, then that will kind of kickstart its DPS. It'll be able to charge up to its first Thunder that much more quickly, and given the progression of the fight, soon after, or maybe even slightly before using that Thunder, it'll get hit by another Blizzard, so it's sort of like a DPS increase for your own Kyogre. Ultimately, it will lower its total damage output, because it will faint that much faster, but it is a DPS increase for a Pokemon that is more of like a high TDO DPS option to begin with, high survivability. So you can choose to use it that way, but if you're more revive, potion, kind of save and focused, then maybe you might want to put Raikou after that one as well, or maybe put this guy, you know, before something that would faint from a charge move, such as Zapdos. So you don't have to organize your party in these special ways, but if you put this Raikou in front of that Zapdos might be hurting. You might be finding it doing no DPS, and then who's the good Pokemon now? DPS lords. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I hope you liked this 102 guide on bulk points. Took you a bit deeper into the world of bulk points. If you want to reference some of this information in a text format, linked below is the GamePress article I wrote on bulk points. So it might go over some aspects in a little bit more detail. You got that text format. But you can also reference this video again if you want the audio visual to like kind of let you know what's going on with bulk points. And once again, if all this bulk point stuff you're like, what are you even talking about, man? You got to watch the 101 video. I'm just saying it sets the tone. Bulk points can get kind of complicated, as you can tell. So yeah, and as always, if you like this content and you want to see more of it, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. What are y'all waiting for? SwagTips. This is what my art looks like.